All right, now that you guys have a better understanding of what history is and how we study the past, let's look at the overarching themes that you guys need to know in AP World History. Now, you need to know these themes because it's going to better help you get a good score on the AP exam. For example, if you're asked to identify a specific theme on the test and you go totally off base and you identify the wrong one or a different one, you're not going to get points for that question. Or if you get a multiple choice question and it asks you about maybe the revolt that took place in France during the French Revolution, you're going to identify that right away as a political theme, and it's going to better help you narrow down the correct ABCD answer for the answer to that multiple choice question. So being able to identify these themes correctly and quickly is going to help you a lot in this class. So let's start off by you guys going through each of the letters in your SPICE-T acronym, which represent your AP World History themes. Read what they stand for. So S stands for social interactions, and then you tell me what you think each theme really is. So, what are some examples of social interactions you think are in world history? So, don't. There's no right or wrong answer, so you don't got to freak out and feel like you're going to mess up. I'm going to give you the correct answer, but right now I want you to pause your video, go ahead and go through each theme and tell me what you think it means. How will we study this theme in a world history? What are some examples of this theme? Okay, and I want at least 2 bullet points for each of these middle boxes. So go ahead and press pause and start that now. All right, everyone's middle boxes should be filled out right here now with what you guys think each of these themes stood for. There should be 2 bullet points in each one to receive full credit for this assignment. Now, let me tell you what each of them actually stand for. So let's focus on our S first. S stands for social interactions between human beings in world history. So, or in history, period, just period. So it is like, what is somebody's gender role in society? How are family structures set up? How do they socially interact with each other? How do different hierarchies with interactions to people, how are they set up? How does a boss treat their workers? How does a worker view their boss? What are the race relations between different societies or different cultures within a society? How are class systems ordered and structured? These are all social interactions and social themes of world history. So now that we learned about social themes, let's move on to our P, which stands for politics. Okay, politics and government. So when we are looking at the politic or the political theme of world history, we are looking at how governments or states maintain control. How did they receive power? How did they rise to power? And how did they fall? What their relationship is with states. Are they at peace with countries? Are they at war with them? Why? And what pretty much is their relationship with their own people and their conquered people? How did this empire rise to power? How do they administer their power to others? Do they force obedience through fear? Are they do they give their civilians democratic power? Are they tolerant of conquered peoples? Does the way they treat their people lead to revolt, which is a major unit in world history that we'll get to? And how do they expand their political power? What are their strategies in expansion? So that would be covering the P, the politics in AP World History. The next major theme in our world history themes is our I, which stands for interaction. Now, this interaction stands for interactions between humans and the environment. Now, don't get interaction confused with social, because social is the interactions between humans, where I is the interaction between humans and the environment. So this theme studies the environment, which is anything that's living, pretty much like your animals, plants, nature, diseases, geography. It talks about how this environment influences our activity, or how our activity influences the environment. Like how does the geography get affected when we create giant cities next to riverbeds? So a lot of things that have to do with manipulation of the environment, the use of energy, biology, diseases. in the world, pandemics that might occur because of humans' interaction with environment, the resettlement or relocation of peoples from one geographic location to another, the migration to new areas. Those are all humans' interaction with the environment. That is our interaction theme. Our next AP World History theme is RC, which stands for culture. Okay, culture, developments, and interaction. So the ideas, the beliefs, the knowledge of peoples, that all has to do with their culture and how these ideas, beliefs, this knowledge that these cultures have, how did they originate? How did they spread to other parts of the world? How did they adapt when they met different ideas, different beliefs, or different cultures? Big examples of the world history cultural theme are studying the different religions, philosophies, or beliefs, the different languages people might have, how they receive education, how their artwork might represent their beliefs, the way they build things, their fashion, the type of sports they play, the food they eat. That all has something to do with culture. And we study how those cultures interact with one each other. Sometimes it's awesome and sometimes it's really, really negative. So we're going to study all those in world history. Our next AP World History theme is E, standing for economic systems. Now, the economic systems basically is anything to do with money, whether it has to do with trade, producing goods, consuming goods, exchanging goods. It has with the development of labor systems, of how people work, how currencies are established, how money was created, what are different theories behind trade and money, like capitalism, socialism, how trade and the production of goods and the accumulation of wealth affects societies. Those are all have to do with the world history theme of economic systems. The last but not so least AP World History theme is a new one. It's technology. Okay, technology and innovation. Basically, when we think about technology and world history, we're thinking about the tools that were designed to complete a specific task or make life a little bit easier for humans' survival. Technology is not just good things, but also could be really horrific things like the nuclear bomb, or the machine gun. Okay. New technologies changed society and it impacted not just people, but their surroundings, their environments, and other states. In the technology theme, we're going to study new innovations, new theories, the impact on the world, and the different sciences that came from these technologies, or the sciences that actually led to this technology. Now that we understand all of our AP World History themes, you have to recognize that a lot of sources that you read about or a lot of questions you might get on your AP test might ask you to identify multiple AP World History themes, some up to 3. Okay, most of the time it'll be 1 to 2 themes that you'll have to identify within a question. So just know that these themes go with one another in different circumstances. After you have this graphic organizer filled out, turn to the next slide, go to your Edpuzzle, and make sure you turn in this Google slide through Google Classroom to receive the credit for this half of the assignment.